Church, this is Collins and Kirsty, and we are here to talk to you guys about rest. So I was reading in Ezekiel 4 a few days ago, and I read about Ezekiel and when God called him to lie down for 390 days on one side, and then to roll over and lie down for 40 more days on his other side. And it was done to prophesy about a city coming under siege. And I couldn't help but thinking, uh, I, I've been lonely, which for those of you who know me is not a surprise. But I was thinking as I was reading this that for him to lie by himself with basically nobody except for maybe his wife to feed him for like a year and a half almost must have been incredibly lonely. And so for me, I realized that's not I don't have that, which is good. But kind of more to the point is when he took that out, he also ended up spending a lot of time just by himself and in contemplation and thinking and probably resting too. And so I realized that's something that I need to do more of, and I hope that you guys can too.
And as I think about what this season is, and as I've been thinking about how we're supposed to be spending it, Collins and I went through an exercise not long after quarantine had started, and after we realized that a lot of our plans for this year that we had made and things we'd talked about for many years that were supposed to happen this year weren't going to happen. We took some time to grieve for those things, but then we also took some time to think about the opportunities that being home and being together afforded. And as we reflected on that today, we realized that we might not be taking as much advantage of this time and taking advantage of the things that God is intending for us in this time as we should have been, just as a reflection. And so it reminded me a lot of Psalm 23. And I know we use that verse a lot, or that chapter a lot, but I just go back to it because it's a time where God is showing us that He wants to take care of us. And so I want to read the first few verses. Verse 1 says, "The Lord is my shepherd; there is nothing I lack." The second verse says, "He lets me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters." Verse 3 says, "He renews my life. He leads me along the right paths for His name's sake." And so I think, you can continue reading the chapter and it talks more about His provision in times of darkness and how we get out of it. But it's so much for me about this chapter is about how God provides for us and He takes care of us. And this season that we're all in, and including the loneliness and everything, there are opportunities within it. And we want to make sure that Collins and I are using those opportunities and that we're getting closer to God and to our family and to each other during this time, and that we're taking those opportunities to serve the community that needs Him most. So just take some time and reflect on what God is providing this time for you to be able to do, and what needs to change for you to be able to do it before this season is up. We hope that this isn't a period of waiting for you, just like we hope it isn't going to be a period of waiting for us until things go back to normal. Let it be us lying beside the quiet waters, listening to His voice and asking for direction. We love you guys. I hope this is an encouragement to you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.